Hello, Internet. So, yeah, I just read X-Men number 17, book number 3 for the week, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. So, yeah, we have the conclusion to the Bloodline storyline from the last, I believe, 5 or 6 issues. It's been a pretty long storyline. But yeah, man, it all wraps up and all comes together here. So, I enjoyed it pretty much. So, we start off, and we have Beast with Primal and Sprite meeting Chimera in the forest, where this is all going down in the from the last issue, when you have the bloodline system in play, with the future controlling the forest through his DNA, the literal bloodline. Yeah, it was. You just gotta go with it. So that's happening, and then so yeah, when Beast gets there with Primal and Sprite, he has Shogo, and then Shogo takes. I'm sorry, Chimera takes Shogo, and then she's explaining to Beast that he is basically the key, and that she's about to go with him into the forest, and that, that she's not going to let him take him back after she digs him. And then Beast is like, okay, well, I'm going to trust you on this one since you're in the future and you know what's going on, so let's do this. And so they're going in, and basically it's just like a really long scene of just taking down the future. So I guess I'll like go like like I usually do, and try to keep it scene by scene as it happens. I might get a bit out of whatchamacallit out of order. We'll see. Hopefully I can do a good job. So yeah, you have Storm and Rachel Gray in the Blackbird flying above head, and then you have Cypher in the Dove, which is a like new smaller version of the Blackbird that was made during Battle of the Atom, and she's like monitoring the situation like off-site but nearby, like relaying situation and like telecommunication, or like not telecommunication but like information and like stuff that's happening in real time, as like she's monitoring on the sensors. So that's happening, and then so she tells them about they're about to go in the forest with the Shogo and stuff, and then they're also talking about how like Monette just vanished in the last issue from after the forest attacked her because it's alive. And then while this is happening, trees just like start sprouting up and shooting at the Blackbird. And then Cypher's like, Storm, watch your sticks. You got trees shooting at you. And then after Storm's able to like pilot away and dodge it, she's like, all right, Rachel, take control. Well, before that happens, actually, Rachel's getting like not really psychically attacked, but like everything in the forest is like screaming out, and then she's like, ah, and then Storm's like, are you okay, Rachel? And she's like, yeah, I can just block it out, I'm cool. And then she's like, all right, take control, I'm gonna go attack the forest. And then she just has like calls down this, I don't know, it's weird because like there's just this giant explosion, because like all the characters that are on the ground level in the forest are like, it's getting hotter, or it feels like there's like I can't really breathe really good. And then all of a sudden like you just see like an explosion. So I'm wondering if like either the temperature got really hot, or if she like did something to manipulate the oxygen to make it explode. It's not really explained, but there's like a giant explosion. And then it cuts to Chimera, and she's like, no, don't do that. And then she starts running towards Bromo Superior and Psylocke, and then they're like, oh, you're here. Wait, what are you doing here with Shogo? And then she's talking to Psylocke about it, and then Psylocke's like, aha, so the bloodline system, it really is the bloodline system, and Shogo's the key to all of this. And so, that happens, and then we cut back to Rachel Gray and Storm, and then, Chimera's like, Chimera's like, Rachel, stop my mom, she's going overboard here, don't do that. And then Rachel Gray just stops her. She's like, whoa. Okay, Jubilee and Monette are down there, so not a good idea for him to go all blowing stuff up all over the place and stuff. And then we cut to the forest, and we see like a bunch of killed / incapacitated. I'm not sure if they're all dead. Some of them are dead, some of them aren't. And you have Monette there, because I think they were attacking her in the last issue. I don't really remember, but yeah. But she's still alive, and she's like, alright, I'm barely alive. Alright, I made it out. And then, she's telepathically talking with the psychic link to Storm and Rachel about like, okay, dudes, I'm back up. Situation on the ground is these dudes are out, and I see the place where the future has Jubilee, but I can sense the bloodline, so I'm not going to try to get too close. And then it cuts to Jubilee and still being held hostage because Minette is like, psychically communicating with her. She's like, "Oh, Jubilee, are you there?" And then they have this like conversation about like what's happening outside, and then Minette's like, "Yeah, okay, we're all here. We're gonna break you out, and like everything's cool. We're gonna break you out. We're gonna save you, and take this dude down, and yeah, we're all here to save the day." And then let's see. So then it cuts back to Burma Superior and Beast, Primal, Sprite, and Chimera charging towards charging through the forest towards the future and its complex. And then Storm sees Chimera with Shogo, and she's like, "That is exactly not what I wanted you to do, to come into the battle with Shogo." But then she's like, "Oh, but it's the key to all this." And then the sidelight is like backing her up on it. She's like, "Yeah." She told me. I'm sorry. She told me about the Storm. It'd be kind of a long process to explain this all. Just go with it, dude. And yeah, it's cool. And so, and then like Chimera pricks Shogo's finger to get him to like bleed over this leaf thing, or like she rubs his thumb over a leaf. And then like it's funny, like as soon as she does that, like you have an off-panel word bubble, and it's just like yelling Chimera, and then yeah. And then Shogo's like crying or whatever, and then like Chimera's like comforting him as he does that, and then Chimera tells Storm about how the bloodline is the operating system of the future and it's his DNA, but since Shogo has the same DNA, it will reset and then accept commands from Shogo. But since it resets with Shogo, it won't accept commands from the future, therefore it's offline unless it's being used by Shogo. And so that happens, and then like you see the future in his office, and he's like, no, and then Jubilee's like, "Aha, now's my chance, let's do this." And then she like vampire powers kick on, and she busts through the wall and like runs up the stairs, but before she can do anything, like the bloodline system is already attacking future, and like it kills him instantly. So she's like, "Oh, well." And then she has telepathic communication with someone, and I don't know who, whatever. And then she's like, "Oh, future's dead." And then I think it's Minette, actually. Oh yeah, it is Minette, because like it's funny because like when she was in the cell like earlier, and like Minette was like, "Oh, I'm breaking you out." She's like, "Yeah, I remember when I told you I've never wanted like know the thoughts in your head or whatever." Yeah, I was right. And then but yeah, Minette tells her that they're basically like 20 yards away, or however many, 200 yards, 200 meters, 200 meters away, downslope, and then that's where she can meet him. But then it cuts back to Chimera with Shogo and Beast, and then apparently in this timeline, when the future deployed the bloodline, there was a poison countermeasure that it had in this timeline, where it doesn't have that in the future timeline when Chimera encountered it. So therefore, when she did that thing with Shogo where he like rubbed his thumb on, or whatever it was, on the leaf, the leaf was poisonous, and that's how he contracted the poison. But she didn't know it was going to happen because in her timeline that wasn't the case, and so that shut down the bloodline. But it was at the cost of like Shogo getting poisoned. And then it's funny because Beats is like, "So Storm, yeah, about Primal and Sprite and how they're recovering faster. I actually took some Archaea DNA and synthesized it to cure him of that, and I could probably do the same thing to cure Shogo." And then Storm's like, "So you want to put some Archaea DNA into Shogo to cure him? Okay, whatever, just do it. Like, it's kind of too important right now to like not do this." And yeah, and so Beast is there synthesizing some DNA from Primal to put into Shogo, and it works. And Jubilee's freaking out the whole time, like, "Ah, Shogo, no, my son, ah." But then everything's cool, and then Shogo's safe, and the day is saved. And then the epilogue is Chimera. She writes this letter to Storm about, she writes a letter to Storm, and she's like, "Yeah, this is the reason I came back was to save Shogo, and then my job here is done." And then it's weird though because she doesn't go back to the future; she stays in the present, and and the reason that she gives in her letter is that so she can watch over Shogo in the present, and then make sure if anything happens, she'll be there to watch over Shogo and protect. And she's like, "Yeah, you probably don't want the teenage daughter that just appeared out of nowhere. In the future, we don't really get along anyway, so whatever." And yeah, bye. So, and that's pretty much that. So, but yeah, I did enjoy this conclusion. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Oh, also, hold on, let me warp back to the beginning of the issue. It's on Comixology. But I think this was the last issue written by Brian Wood. So I did enjoy his run. I mean, I really like the 3-issue start with Primer. I did like that arc. And then the Sisterhood, although it was varying quality, I thought it was on the good side. And then this Bloodline was pretty good, even though it was long. So I don't know who's coming in to write in his place. But then in this issue, I'm looking at the credits, and it has Paco Diaz and Phil Briones. I don't know if I'm saying those names right, as the artists. So I'm hoping they can stay on, because the art in this issue is pretty good. After it was kind of iffy during the Sisterhood arc. Some issues were good, some issues were none of them were bad. I mean, it just was varying degrees of different styles. I mean, none of them were bad. It was just inconsistency. So it's just, if it could just be like this, like it was in this issue, because I didn't enjoy it, and not just be all over not all over the other place, but just weird, very interesting. I mean, if we could get Olivier Coipel back, that'd be great. The first 3 issues were just awesome art, so I wouldn't mind that. But yeah, that is it for X-Men number 17 and what I thought about it. So and there's no real prelude or tease for what's going to happen next, so I'm not even sure what's going to be the next storyline, since I haven't been looking into the previews or anything. So another arc to start on. If you haven't been reading, issue 18 is a great jumping on point if you want to read some X-Men comics. Well, I mean, X-Men with female focused, but not essentially all female team, because you have Beast is in there, and they have Burma Superior now, so it's just the leads the ladies are leading the way, but you still got some dudes every now and then. But yeah, I'm enjoying this run. So yeah, I'll stuck with it. But yeah, that's it for my thoughts on this issue. And yeah, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends, or not. That's cool too. And as you may have noticed if you've been watching these, I've been putting this week. I've been putting these up differently, where it's every issue gets its own video. I might actually keep this whatchamacallit going forward. There's a word for that. I'm sorry, it's 4 a.m. and I'm trying to do this. But yeah, this format, yes, I might keep this format going forward, but we'll see. Probably not. I just like to do 3 a week, and it's a lot easier. But this time there's so many good books I didn't skip out on any of them after I'd been doing so many I'd been keeping all the ones that came out this week up to date, and then they all came out the same week, and I didn't drop any as far as updates on what happened in the story. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for listening and watching. And until you see or hear from me again, I'm now signing off.